Hi, I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs for Parkland College. I'm your new host of the Parkland Report, and I hope you'll join me this season as we talk to some of the familiar faces around the college about what's new and what you need to know here at Parkland College. Hi, and welcome to the Parkland Report. I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs. Today we are talking with Erin Shannon, who is our new Director of Marketing and Public Relations. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you, Stephanie.
So tell us a little bit about your role with the college.
Sure. So I am in charge of leading the team of marketing professionals that promote Parkland College throughout the community, support enrollment efforts, and then also support all the different departments and divisions and all the marketing needs that they have, as well as communicating to the students all of the different things going on at Parkland.
Whew, that's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot going on. And I know a little bit about your work because I was formerly in that role.
That's
but
right.
Can you tell our viewers a little bit about the members of the team that do all of the marketing and public relations? What really goes into that work?
Yes, I would love to. So we have a great team. We have 2 graphic artists that are in charge of all of the graphic design for all of the materials that are created in the marketing efforts. And then we have a writer, a media specialist who focuses on all the writing and all of the media requests. And then we also have a project manager, kind of a web manager. He focuses on social media. And then we have an assistant director as well who contributes to getting everything done, as well as an office manager who does a great job keeping everything organized and also works on the facility services and all sorts of different things that our team does.
That's great. So lots of different facets to the work of marketing and PR on a day-to-day basis.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit about the college's enrollment goals, because there's been a lot of conversation over the last few years. Community college enrollment nationally is declining. Here at Parkland College, we've seen some of that same trend. As the economy's improved, we've seen our enrollment decline somewhat as well, and our staffing has really reflected that. But we do have some goals in terms of increasing enrollment and obviously meeting the community's need for higher education that's affordable and accessible to everyone. So what role does marketing specifically play in that recruitment of students to come to the college?
Sure. Well, marketing makes sure that the community and the district know that we have these wonderful resources available. They make sure that the students know that all the different areas of focus that they can choose to study at Parkland. And we use all sorts of different ways to communicate that. We use social media, we use radio advertising, television advertising, we use our website. The website was a big project that was a big undertaking, but just shortly before I came here. We use all sorts of different channels of communication to make sure we're reaching everybody in the district that could be interested in an education at Parkland.
Yeah, that's great. And what about the different audiences? So obviously we have, the traditional student that's coming from high school, but then also possibly adults in the community that want to gain skills for a new career, or they never went to college, but now it's time. So talk a little bit about all of the different audiences that the college has as a community college, maybe versus a 4-year traditional university.
Sure. Yes. Well, exactly what you said. So one of the wonderful things about Parkland is that there are opportunities for everyone at any age or stage in life. There are all sorts of certificate programs that people can decide to change what they're doing and apply for and try to gain those certifications. And so we try to make sure that when we're planning our communications that we are thinking about all the different audiences and the way that they are consuming their media, the way that they're communicating to their peers, where they are going day to day within their lives in the community, and trying to make sure that our marketing is reaching them in those areas. And what we are communicating is something that connects with them and resonates with them and has value and makes them realize, oh, this is a place where maybe I would like to pursue something different. So maybe the traditional student who is still in high school is communicating differently than the working adult who is working a full-time job and is interested in possibly changing careers or getting an additional certification, but is busy and they're using different means to communicate. So we try to think about all of those different audiences and how they're getting their messages.
So what about media consumption? How does that vary by, for example, age demographic? So you have Gen Z, the current high school student, and that 18-year-old, how they're consuming media, and then some of the older audiences, maybe a more millennial audience. So what are the differences from your vantage point, not necessarily only in our district, but industry-wide?
Sure. Well, definitely social media is where people are communicating. Different types of social media, different age groups are leveraging. So the younger age group, we know, are spending a lot of time on more like Snapchat and possibly some Twitter and Instagram, and then our older, more working adult demographic, we see them on Facebook. So it just kind of varies depending on the student or potential student.
Yeah, it's interesting. And so the work is never done, right? You don't ever have a plan that sits for 5 or 10 years and it's effective. How do you evaluate what tactics to use?
Yeah, well, it is always evolving, especially with the internet. Things can change so quickly. So we use as many metrics as we possibly can. With the internet, there is an opportunity to do that. Our digital marketing gives us metrics. Impressions is an important metric. Likes on Facebook is an example of that. All sorts of different types of ways to track that. Open rates on emails are just a few examples of those things.
Great. Well, Erin, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about metrics, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
So once you're a digital media student, you might be wondering, well, what's it going to be like? What can I expect? What's the work going to be like? Is there homework? Is there not homework? Is it the computer? Am I programming all day, or what? Well, one of the things I want you to think about is, yes, we're in the computer science and information technology branch of the college. And we use computers as our tool, much like an artist used the paintbrush or colored pencils or clay to create something, to communicate. We use the computer. We don't focus so much on the nitpickiness of the computer, but we try to use it as a form of expression, as a means to express an idea. So you have to be versed in artistic terminology and understanding, elements and principles of design. What are they? What do they mean? How do I use them? We also have to be thinking about film and cinematic areas, with camera tools and how to tell a story and pacing and rhythm and all those kind of things. So you have to think like an artist, but you also have to work with the computer. So you have to deal with the limitations and the way the computer can help you as well. And so you have to be able to focus on those kind of details. You might work a long time on a project, and then you'll get a critique. So we critique them just like you would in the art classes. We show the work, and then we all discuss and talk about it. And so that's something that students have to become used to. You have to be used to people making comments about your work, positive and negative feedback, and making revisions. Do it again, do it again, do it again, until it's right or working properly and then it's improved. And so I want you to be thinking about that. You really have to put in work in these classes. It isn't just a push to the button and voila, the computer does the work for you. It isn't like that at all. It is something that takes skill and it takes practice, and you need to have pride in what it is you're doing and have some craftsmanship. Put in the work to make a superior product. So once you've finished all our classes, the next step is to move on to another school where you can earn your bachelor's degree. Now, we have a fantastic relationship with a school in Indiana called IUPUI, or UIPUI, or the Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis. Now, they accept our credits pretty much straight in, and you can go over there. We have students over there now, and they are enjoying the experience. Other students have gone on to Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD in Atlanta. Other students have gone up to Chicago, to DePaul. We have students going to Columbia University. And there are a few people who have skills that allow them to go straight from Parkland out and get a job in the industry somewhere. Most students have to take the time to earn their degree, a bachelor's degree, or continue their education. And so I encourage you to think about that. Where do you want to go from here? You can have the experience coming in and experience all of these great opportunities in digital media. And so I have to wonder, what will you create with these skills, and what will you be doing in the future?
All right, welcome back from break. Again, we're here with Erin Shannon, Director of Marketing and Public Relations. So Erin, before the break, we were talking a little bit about all of the different marketing tactics that are always evolving. Tell us a little bit about digital marketing. How has digital marketing really changed over the last few years, and what are some of the ways that marketers, not just colleges, but in general, are using digital?
Well, you can do all sorts of different digital marketing. You can do digital marketing through social media, paid and organic. You can do SEM marketing, which would be search marketing, and that can be video, that can be display advertising, that can be, well, those would be the main ones. Really, it has just kind of exploded over the past couple years. There are so many more opportunities for companies with small budgets and big budgets to be able to place ads on Google AdWords or Facebook or other types of social media. And YouTube is a great platform. You really, it's evolved from being mostly the kind of simple, traditional marketing tactics now to all of the search and the video and content marketing.
Yeah, search is really particularly interesting because those are individuals that are already searching for the right information. So it's almost like if you can present the information that they're really looking for in a way that's meaningful to them, that it's a win-win for everyone and not just a one-way conversation for the advertiser.
Absolutely. If you can make something that's more relevant, they're more likely to interact with it and click on it, and gives them something that they're looking for.
Yeah, it's a little bit different because Parkland isn't really in it to make money. It's more about really providing that service and being accessible. And so it's that interesting balance of the advertising, but then what you're selling is an entire experience versus something else. So yeah,
absolutely,
kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what a little bit about social media marketing, so digging into that a little bit more, social media habits. So what are some of the different platforms and the different ways that marketers are really using them, and what are the ways that Parkland is tapping into that?
Sure. So different social media platforms. There's Facebook, there are Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat, there's LinkedIn. Those are just a few. There's many, many different types of social media platforms. Those would be the big ones that many companies are marketing on. And Parkland College, we have very active presence on Facebook, and we do have some presence on other social media as well. And really, we just try to put out meaningful content to the community, to our students about what's going on at Parkland, so people who are tuned in can stay updated. They can learn about the different offerings that we have, and they can engage with us. So if people want to message us on social media, they can do that. If they want to see photos of what's going on and comment, they can do that. It's another way to communicate with us at Parkland.
Yeah, I noticed that student life is really active in posting just all the different activities on campus.
Yeah.
And it's really
events.
Yeah, a great way to talk to students who are already here at Parkland as well, as prospective students, to give them an idea about really what's happening. What about public relations? I know we were talking a little bit during the break about the role of public relations and different ways that we share, not just through advertising and marketing, but just the news of the college. So what does the team have in place to make sure we're engaging in effective public relations?
Yes. We have a fabulous media communication specialist who writes wonderful press releases, and all sorts of stories are happening at Parkland College every week. So she works with different parts of the college to identify those stories and make sure that we have all the information, and we're crafting those releases so that we can send it out to all the different media in town and let them know what's going on. So that's one major way we do it. Another way is to keep content updated on social media. So if anybody's interested, they could pop over to our social media and check out what's going on that way. And then also if we have an event that is particularly of note that we want to make sure that everybody knows about, we could reach out and invite them to come if they'd like to know about what's going on. So those are just a few of the ways that we would engage with public relations and the local media.
Yeah, I know the college was just did a celebration for the student union building becoming LEED certified, and so I noticed that, for example, WCIA came out to cover that, and some other events that they've been invited to that they'll come out as well. So it's good to always see those stories on the news about really what's happening, and especially when it's students and faculty can be showcased about their work, and because people's lives are changed by coming here. It's nice to remember that that's really what the business that we're in.
Yes, it's always exciting to see it celebrated in any way, shape, or form. So definitely.
Well, Erin, if we had to project in the future and put on our brainstorming caps, how do you think that the media landscape is evolving in general, and then how do you think the college will continue to adapt in the future?
Yes, well, increasingly digitally focused, gosh, I would say that with social media, I know we've talked about that a lot, but with social media, so many different people who maybe didn't have a voice to broadcast themselves across a wide platform can do that now. You or I could go onto social media and build our following and become an influencer and share our message. So I think that a stronger, louder voice is given to anybody who decides it and wants to put in the work to do that. And so I think that as we think about how things are evolving, I think that the internet is giving people more of a voice, and that's one way that it is.
Yeah. And we can give our students that voice too.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, Erin, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank
That's
you.
it for today's edition of the Parkland Report. We appreciate you joining us and hope to see you next time.